Folks, step number 1, read the agreement before you sign it. I'll get into that, and then the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending May 29th, 2024. On a recent transaction, I'm representing the seller. We receive an offer, and I'm reviewing the offer with my client, going through price, closing date, the shadows included, all the different clauses in the Schedule A, Schedule B. We'll review everything. Now, my clients were selling this property, their principal home, and it had the basement was finished with the kitchen, and they had promised the appliances that were in the basement to a family member that was just kind of getting started off and was having some hard times. So they basically promised the basement appliances to a family member. And so in the listing, I had stated clearly that the basement appliances are not included. And in conversation with any realtor that was speaking to me about putting in an offer, I was also very clear saying, listen, the basement appliances are not included. And this offer that came in had a clause that stated the opposite, that the basement appliances are included. And so I called the agent on that because I read the agreement and I said, hey, we spoke beforehand. I told you that the basement appliances are not included. And the agent said, yes, but my client wants them. And so I spoke to my seller about that. And they said, no, we promised them to a family member. They're not even that expensive. They're really old. No, we're going to take them and we're going to give them away just the way we planned. So I scratched that clause off and make a bunch of other changes. Price was one of them. And we give a counter offer back. Now, my clients initialed everywhere that was appropriate and supposed to be initialed. And the other side initialed also. And they initialed that clause, removing the fact that the basement appliances were going to be included. In other words, they are no longer going to be included the way the seller wished to begin with. And the agreement went back and forth a couple of times with some counter offers, and it was finally accepted. Fast forward to the day before closing, the buyers had booked a final visit. I get a call from the house while they're on their visit, and the agent saying, hey, where are the basement appliances? My client had removed them. And I said, what do you mean? The basement appliances are not included. And the agent says to me, but we spoke about this. I told you my clients want them. I said, I know. You put the clause, and I told you the sellers, my clients, were going to take them out. And we scratched that clause. We initialed it. And so did your buyers initial that. And you must have explained it to them. But he didn't. They just accepted it. So the agent didn't read the clause and initialed away. The buyers obviously didn't read the agreement and they initialed away. They just blindly followed whatever their agent told them to. Initial here, initial here, initial there. Or it was through DocuSign. Excuse me. Through DocuSign, they're just clicking away on their phone, not paying attention to anything. And now we have this problem. And they're threatening not to close, or they're going to hold back money to buy appliances if we don't bring them back, and all these different things. None of it mattered. They had to close. We were following everything that was in the agreement that was agreed to by both parties. My clients knew what they were signing. The other side apparently didn't know what they were signing. And that's their own fault. Folks, read the agreement. If you have something you want or don't want, or you want something to happen, it needs to be in writing in the agreement, and both sides, seller and buyer, need to initial or sign and agree to it. Otherwise, good luck in it happening the way you want it to happen. Just read the agreement. It's okay if your agent reads it to you, but ask for a copy before you sign it and reread it yourself. Read the agreement before you sign it. If you think this video can help somebody you know, pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Up here, there's a link to my calendar. Below this video in the description, there's a link. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. We'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Here we go, folks. Let's take a close look at Peel and Durham region. We're going to be dealing with Durham. Now, detached properties only, that's what I'm looking at. And for Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. Average sold prices for Durham and Brampton, pretty much similar. You see it here. Mississauga is normally 300, 400,000 higher when it comes to average sold price. You're seeing it here, Mississauga way up top. We're going to start off with Mississauga, detached properties only for week ending May 29th. 63 detached properties were sold. 8 of those are at $2 million or more. Overall, it looks like sales have been trending up for Mississauga. Average sold price, a little bit different. Average sold price now is sitting at $1,473,000. Earlier in the year, right up until mid-April, I would say average prices were trending up. It kind of looks like to me now they may be trending down. Compared to last year, 1,473 is 2% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is also 2% lower. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. The 4-week moving average helps eliminate some of the peaks and valleys and makes it simpler to spot a trend. And when we look at it like this, we could see, yeah, since I guess the end of April, kind of looks like average and median prices are trending down. 63 were sold, 43% sold at list price or more. 126 were listed. Looks like listings may be coming down. And active listings, although right up until last week they were trending up. Sorry, not till last week. The week previous to last week, the long weekend week, for this week, down a bit from the previous week. Months of inventory was trending up, now sitting at 2.2 months of inventory. That's Mississauga. Let's take a closer look at Brampton. 58 detached properties were sold. 1 of those was at $2 million or more. Sales creeping up. They jump up by 2 or 3, not by much, but sitting at 58 right now. Average sold price up from the previous week to $1,191,000. 1,191 is 11% lower than where we were this time a year ago. If we just look back a second, this year, looks like prices are trending down over since, say, middle of April. Last year at this time, prices were trending upwards. Median price is 13% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The dotted line, the 4-week moving average, yeah, since middle of April, average price and median price trending down. Not aggressively, but trending down. 58 were sold, 40% sold at list price or more. That's a big jump over the previous few weeks. Listings down from the previous few weeks. Active listings trending up, although versus just the previous week, down by 2, but pretty much trending up. Months of inventory was going up, then it plateaued at about 3.5. Now it's sitting at 3.1 months of inventory. Couldn't tell you which way it's going, but I'm telling you where it is right now. Overall, trending up, but versus the previous week, it did come down a bit. Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby. This is my Durham sample. 50 detached properties were sold, same as the previous week. 1 of those was at $2 million or more. Average sold price up from the previous week to $1,149,000. 1,149 is 8% lower year over year. The median price is 6% lower year over year. The dotted line shows a gradual trend down over the previous 2 months or so. 50 were sold. 58 of those, 58% of those sold at list price or more. 136 were listed. One of the few areas where listings jumped up that much. Active listings is showing that it's been trending up for a while now. Months of inventory has been trending up, but it's the same as it was the previous week, sitting at 1.7 months of inventory. Look, 1.7 is pretty much still a seller's market, but prices are starting to trend down. Active listings starting to increase. We're seeing some changes in the market. Here's a quick summary of months of inventory. I put condos here just for comparison. We have a whole other show that talks about the condo market, but you can see condos way up here. It's in a buyer's market category, but Mississauga 2.2, Brampton 3.1, Durham 1.7. So in some neighborhoods, you're going to experience a seller's market, but overall, it's going to be pretty much a balanced market. Not too many areas in the freehold market that are going to be buyer's market, but every now and then you will be exposed to that. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.